pound class in Class A. It'll be Justin Shrewsbury of Alliance at 28-8, a senior, will meet Andy Robinson of Omaha Benson, 30-1, a senior. In Class B, Brad Cooper, unbeaten senior, 37-0. Ogallala, another unbeaten wrestler, Brandon Moser of Albion, 32-0, a senior. The only pairings of unbeatens in the tournament. In Class C, Matt Steffen of West Point Central Catholic, 35-1, a senior, meets Mark Beerenstrauch of Tri-County. He's 31-0, a senior. And in Class D, John Howell, 29-5, a senior from Mullen, faces Chad Morsett, a junior from Rushviile. He's 32-3. Beerenstrauch, Tri-County in Class C, as I mentioned, was unbeaten. He has a 24-pin win streak going, and also has had 28 pins on the year. He's pinned his way throughout the tournament, so he is a pinning machine, facing a pretty tough customer, Matt Steffen of West Point Central Catholic. And there goes Beerenstrauch right to work. Beerenstrauch immediately gets the takedown in Class C. And then in Class B, as I mentioned, two unbeaten wrestlers, Brandon Moser and Brad Cooper. Cooper from Ogallala, Moser from Albion, our only match of unbeatens in the whole state tournament.
These two wrestled over the summer in a freestyle match, and Moser won that match. So I'm sure Brad Cooper would like to avenge that one and do it in front of the home crowd here at the Bob Devaney.
The only score we have so far is in Class C, where Mark Beerenstrauch took a 2-0 lead over Matt Steffen.
Justin Shrewsbury has jumped out to a 2-1 lead over Andy Robinson of Benson. Also a quick takedown, but Robinson is a real scrambler. He's not going to sit still under there very long, and he got out within a matter of seconds after the initial takedown. Robinson hasn't been scored. Well, that was I take that back. That was the first points he's had scored on him in the tournament, was that takedown.
As I mentioned in B, you have two unbeaten wrestlers. Brad Cooper's the defending state champ, and Brandon Moser was second last year at 151 pounds. So both have a lot of state experience.
I spoke too soon because Justin Shrewsbury has now scored again on Andy Robinson. Justin Shrewsbury, the senior from Alliance, 28-8 record. He's ranked second behind number 1 Andy Robinson, but right now it doesn't look like those rankings were accurate.
4-1 is the lead now for Shrewsbury. We have a 2-0 score now in Class B, as it's Brad Cooper leading Brandon Moser 2-0. In Class D, no score, and in Class C, it's a 2-0 lead for Mark Beerenstrauch of Tri-County over Matt Steffen of West Point Central Catholic.
John Howell of Mullen, a three-time medalist, like he's second last year at 160, fifth the year before that at 152 pounds. Time running out now in Class B at the end of the first period with Brad Cooper holding on to a 2-0 lead after that initial takedown. He actually was born in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, moved here before his freshman year. Pennsylvania, a hotbed of wrestling. In fact, the state of Pennsylvania puts on what they call the Pennsylvania Classic, where they'll put together an all-star team from their state and invite an all-star team from the rest of the country to come in and try and beat them.
Who usually wins? Any idea?
Pennsylvania. That's just because they have the home mat advantage, though.
Well, they'll end the first period in Class C with Mark Beerenstrauch of Tri-County leading 2-0 over Matt Steffen of West Point Central Catholic. Last year, Steffen was 6th at 160. Beerenstrauch was 4th.
Brandon Moser got Brad Cooper caught in what's called the spladle. This is a very difficult move to get out of. He's not getting any near fall yet, but he's close. If he can turn him a little bit more, he's going to get near fall. He can't allow Cooper to slip his head out. If he slips his head out, Brandon will be reversed, almost guaranteed. And he's allowing him to get it. He's getting a little loose.
Yep, there it is, just like you said. And he didn't get the near fall points either, did he?
Nope, he didn't get no near fall. No points yet, actually. No change at this point.
We got almost a pin now in Class A, as it looked like Shrewsbury's in trouble. Andy Robinson of Omaha Benson has Shrewsbury in trouble as he was trailing it.
Andy Robinson is an extremely strong wrestler. He only 160 pounds, but he bench presses 350. And he's got that cradle locked tight.
So Robinson trying to get a state title coming from behind. Shrewsbury in a lot of trouble with 51 seconds to go into the second period. And there's
the pin. Andy Robinson wins his first state title. Placed 5th down here his sophomore and junior year, and now finally wins the state championship.
Was ranked number 1, beat the number 2 wrestler in Justin Shrewsbury of Alliance. So big win for Andy Robinson. Meanwhile, no score in Class D yet, and there's a stoppage in that match. In Class C, it's a 4-0 lead now for Mark Beerenstrauch of Tri-County. The unbeaten wrestler is a senior. Placed 4th last year. Would like to get a state title here for Coach John McGarry, who's just been outstanding. He's been there a long time. I hate to guess how many years Coach McGarry's been at Tri-County, but it's been a bunch, and they have all been good. He's been a top coach in Class C for many years.
There's a reversal for Brad Cooper of Ogallala in Class B. That gives him a 4-0 advantage. Still in the second period, about 45 seconds to go there. Like you said, this is the only matchup of unbeaten wrestlers today. Somebody's going to go home with a state championship, and somebody's going to go home with a blemish on their record.
And Moser is going to have to get going here if he wants to get into that match, trailing at 4-0 with 30 seconds to go in the second period.
Beerenstrauch just really wrestles hard. He comes out right away and gets after it. He was also All-State in football as a defensive end.
He is just so aggressive. I mean, he does not give you any opportunity to do anything, and it's really tough for Matt Steffen right now. West Point Central Catholic just doesn't have an opportunity to do much. And now Beerenstrauch trying to get some near fall points, but unable to do so.
The time running out now at the end of the second period between Brad Cooper and Brandon Moser. Cooper still holding on to that 4-0 lead. Brandon Moser's choice in the third period. He's going to take top. Not sure I necessarily agree with that decision, since he just got reversed to go behind 4-0, but
well, when you're down 4-0, unless he feels good about getting some kind of pinning combination. Again, Beerenstrauch in Class C from Tri-County continues to lead 4-0. They're still in the second period there, and Steffen just hasn't had much opportunity.
We're just getting ready to get back underway in Class D. It's 0-0 between John Howell of Mullen and Chad Morsett of Rushviile.
And now we'll have a penalty point called against Beerenstrauch for locked hands on the mat. Beerenstrauch still leads at 4-1, however, with 1 period left in that match.
Morsett in the down position here in Class D. Now, there was 1 point awarded. I didn't see what they awarded it for in favor of John Howell.
Well, I tell you, Howell, he comes out of that bottom top, man alive. And he tied it up just like that. 1-1 now in Class D. In Class B, it remains 4-0. Brad Cooper leading Brandon Moser of Albion. Cooper on the bottom, Moser on top, trailing. And trying to lock up a cradle. But Cooper's just going to try to slip right on out of it.
Cooper, a 3-time finalist. Last year beat Scott Antoniak of Omaha Gross, who we're going to see coming up in the next match at 171 pounds. Antoniak in the finals again also.
And Cooper got the reversal. I think he'll be tough to beat now, and now he's got a cradle.
Got a near fall, and that's a pretty tight cradle. I think he's going to get the fall.
Cooper certainly one of the top wrestlers in the state tournament this year. As Cooper trying to get his second straight state title, as you mentioned. He's a senior for Ogallala, but Moser able to wiggle out of it. But it's going to be a tough road now for Brandon Moser with only 57 seconds to go in the match. It would appear Cooper will have that one in hand. We're tied 1-1 in Class D between John Howell of Mullen and Chad Morsett of Rushviile. And in Class C, it's 4-1. Mark Beerenstrauch of Tri-County leading Matt Steffen of West Point Central Catholic.
Cooper ended up getting a 3-point near fall. That gives him a 9-0 lead. He comes from a wrestling family as well. 8 kids. 5 boys, all of them wrestlers. 3 girls, they're wrestling cheerleaders.
Now we're tied 2-2 in Class D between Howell and Morsett. As they're still in the second period, they got a little behind in that match due to injury. Meanwhile, in Class C, 1:21 to go in the third period, and still 4-1 Beerenstrauch leading, but Steffen trying to get a pinning combination put on Beerenstrauch. And it's now 9-0. Brad Cooper of Ogallala leading Brandon Moser. So For two undefeated wrestlers, Cooper's really taken control in that match. I think Moser tried a couple of things that it just didn't work out for him. Cooper's just too tough.
That's exactly what it is. Cooper is a very solid wrestler in all aspects, on his feet as well as down on the mat. And I've really been impressed with him this whole tournament. This is the first chance I've gotten to see him this year, but he's impressive. And has big plans of wrestling after high school as well. I talked to him a little bit about that, and he's looking at a couple of different schools to go on. And
we just had a point scored now in Class C. John Howell of Mullen got a point to lead at 3-2 now with 1:45 to go in the third period.
Beerenstrauch still working, trying to get another takedown. In Class C, he leads 4-1 in the third period with 43 seconds to go. He's not quitting. He's not shutting down. Moser gets an escape.
Oh man, trying about everything he could think of, but it just wouldn't work for him. And that's going to be it. Cooper's going to be the winner over Brandon Moser. Cooper will win it 9-3. So Brad Cooper, champion in Class B, wins it 9-3 over Brandon Moser. So the battle of unbeatens goes to Brad Cooper of Ogallala. Outstanding win for Brad Cooper. Finishes the season unbeaten, his second state championship. It's 3-2 yet in Class D. John Howell leading Chad Morsett, and only 18 seconds left in Class C, and it looks like Mark Beerenstrauch is going to win a state title.
Matt Steffen getting close to finishing the takedown here. Although I don't think it might be too little too late. He's behind by 3. He needs more than just a takedown. He's got a near side cradle locked on. Time is out. Time is out. He got the takedown, put him to his back, but time was out. He got the takedown.
Well, the coaches
want to count. I think what happened, though, you might have seen it. The girl with the towel wasn't able to get around the wrestlers quick enough to hit him. Time was already out. There's a takedown in favor of John Howell of Mullen. He extends his lead to 5-2 in Class D with 23 seconds to go.
Well, they did get it. Oh, I think it looks like Beerenstrauch will get the title. He got 2 for the takedown for Matt Steffen, and 4-3 victory for Mark Beerenstrauch. Boy, what a tough one that was. Wow. Coach John McGarry very pleased with that. It was very, very close.
And there's the winner in Class D, John Howell of Mullen, a 5-2 victory over Chad Morsett. An upset if you go by the rankings. Howell ranked number 2, Morsett number 1, but not anymore.
I tell you, and that was the case where that was really solid match all the way through, and then whoever had the most in the tank at the end wins it, and that's what happened there. Let's go ahead and give you shortly here. We'll go through a 160-pound weight class, but again, some pretty outstanding matches as we get through 160 pounds, and we had a chance to see a pretty quick match in Class A. Andy Robinson of Benson got that pin
after falling behind early.
Right. There's some wrestling going on here in the Bob Devaney Sports Center. In fact, I think in an hour, very shortly, I think they're going to start a duel between the Nebraska wrestlers and Northern Iowa. And, of course, Nebraska has had an outstanding season. Had a chance to talk to the coach for the Huskers a little earlier today, Newman, and of course they're having a great year. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the championship matches in 160 pounds. It was Andy Robinson of Omaha Benson winning a state title by pinning Justin Shrewsbury of Alliance. In Class B, Brad Cooper of Ogallala stays unbeaten, knocking off Brandon Moser of Albion 9-3. In Class C, Mark Beerenstrauch of Tri-County hangs on to beat Matt Steffen of West Point Central Catholic 4-3. And in Class D, it was John Howell of Mullen, a